Hello and welcome. My name is Mohammed Al Kayat. In this explainer, we are going to learn some very important English words for information technology, or as we call it, IT. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin.
So, our lesson today has 4 parts. First, a little welcome. Then, we are going to learn our first words about IT. After that, we'll look at the different parts of a computer. And finally, we will review and you will get to practice.
All right, let's jump right in. We're going to start with the basics, the most important words you need for a career in IT. Think of these words as the building blocks for everything else. So first things first, let's learn the basic vocabulary of IT. These are the words you will hear all the time when you talk about technology. Our very first word, and it's a big one, is computer. A computer is a machine that can process and store information. You are probably using a computer to watch this right now. You can say, I use the computer every day. Next, we have the word hardware. Hardware means the physical parts of a computer. These are the parts that you can see and you can touch. For example, your keyboard and your monitor are both hardware. And on the other hand, we have software. Software is different. It's the programs and applications that tell the hardware what to do. You cannot touch software. An example would be Microsoft Word or the apps on your phone. This slide makes the difference really clear. See, on the left we have hardware. These are the physical parts and you can touch them. An example is the keyboard. On the right, we have software. These are the programs and you cannot touch them, like Microsoft Word. So just remember this, hardware is physical, software is not. Okay, next step is a word you probably know. The internet. What is the internet? Well, it's a giant global network. It connects millions and millions of computers all over the world. It's how they share information and communicate. So what do computers work with? They work with data. Data is just another word for information that computers store and use. Every photo, every video, every document, it's all data. You can say it like this: the computer processes data. Great. Now that we know some basic words, let's look inside the computer. We're going to learn about the different parts, the components, that make the computer work. First up is the CPU. This stands for Central Processing Unit, but an easy way to think about it is this. The CPU is the brain of the computer. It does all of the thinking. Next, let's talk about RAM. RAM. This is Random Access Memory. You can think of RAM as the computer's short-term memory. It's temporary, but it's very important because it helps the computer run programs very fast. So if RAM is short-term memory, then the hard drive is the long-term memory. The hard drive is where all of your data is stored for a long, long time. Your files and photos are safe here, even when the computer is turned off. So what connects all of these parts together? That's the motherboard. The motherboard is the main board inside a computer. Its job is to connect everything, the CPU, the RAM, everything, so it can all work together. And finally, let's talk about the parts we use directly. The monitor, that's the screen that you look at. The keyboard is what you use to type words, and the mouse is the small device that helps you point and click. These are the tools we use to talk to our computer. We have covered a lot of new vocabulary today. That was great. Now let's take a moment to review everything we've learned just to make sure it all sticks. Let's think for a moment. What are the key words we learned in this lesson? Try to remember a few of them before we go to the next slide. Okay, here is a quick review of all the words. In our first part, we learned computer, hardware, software, internet, and data. And in our second part, we learned about CPU, RAM, hard drive, motherboard, and monitor. You can pause here if you want to look at the list again. So now it is your turn to practice these new words. You can try to write a little about your computer, or you can try to describe its parts using our new vocabulary. And you know, the best way to learn is to talk with a friend or a partner. Remember, practice is very important. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you in the next one.